What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Super Sidekicks podcast, your premier source for all your video game, movie, and other needs.
Let's do that again.
No. I don't remember us becoming a premier source.
We're a premier source now. It's official.
Well, do you want to introduce yourself again?
Yeah.
In case somebody, just decides to pick up at this point.
Yeah, if you're picking up at this point, my name is Granola Bryant.
And I am Gigazord.
A.K.A.?
No, it's Jason, a.k.a. Gigazord. I don't want to do Gigazord, a.k.a. Jason.
I don't know if you were, transitioning.
A.k.a. You're also an a.k.a. now.
Oh, yeah. It's weird having a persona. I've never had a persona before.
Which persona are we going with?
Granola Bryant's a much different Brian than regular Brian.
No, I meant you have a different a.k.a. now. You're also Dungeon Master Brian.
Oh, yeah. I am Dungeon Master Brian. We've been playing a little old school game, going all the way back to the 70s on this one.
Yeah, actually, one of our things, we started playing Dungeons and Dragons, and we've only played 2 sessions, one campaign, but it was separated into about 2 sessions. Not about, it was 2 sessions, but kind of started off was you wanted to get us into it.
Yeah, well, I picked up a basic game at a tag sale 2 years ago. And I played with some friends in my room, and we got some candles out and got some dungeon-y sounding music going.
Oh, it was a Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, it was a Dungeons and Dragons basic game. Version 3.5 was the rules. And then I played that one time, and I wasn't even the dungeon master. And then I've been listening to a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, and it got me excited about it again.
Well, what's the podcast called? So maybe in case they come across, we give them a shout out.
Oh yeah, it is the Adventure Zone with the McElroy brothers, so Griffin, Justin, Travis McElroy, and they play with their dad Clint, and super fun, super funny, and I just had such a good time listening to it that I was like, oh, I want to play a game.
What made you come across that to kind of get this ball rolling? Why did you come across that podcast?
I actually just found it. I started listening to a different podcast, and the Adventure Zone popped up on the feed of popular podcasts just based on everything else I was listening to somehow, other video game podcasts and stuff, because the 2 of them actually work at Polygon doing reviews and stuff. So it just popped up in my feed, and I gave it a listen, and it was good. And just the genius of Gary Gygax. Gygax? I'm probably hurting the souls of everyone who's actually hardcore Dungeons and Dragons fans, but he's a fucking genius. The math involved in the rules, because you hooked enough to buy your own rule book, right?
We'll talk about that.
The rules are just so intense, and it's cool to kind of work backwards, where I grew up playing games like RuneScape, games even newer games like Skyrim and even Fallout. All of the computer math that happens behind the scenes of when you go to shoot at someone, it's a D20. It's a D20 that rolls to see if you hit, and then it's a damage die to see if you what damage you do, and if you get more experience, it ups certain skills that let you do certain things better. And it's just an old school version where you're doing all of that math yourself. You're rolling a die to see if you hit.
I'd say all RPG, well, not all of them, but a lot of RPG games that came out, especially the popular ones, the Final Fantasies, all that. I mean, they're all based off of D&D kind of for, they might have used slightly different systems for calculating things with the stats and whatnot. But yeah, I'd say it's all based off of D&D.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, obviously there's variances, but the other part that I liked about it was the collaborative storytelling. Because this past time when I was the Dungeon Master, I came up with a story, loosely.
Before we get into that, let's get into how we got into the first session.
You didn't want to play.
So
you didn't want to play at all.
So Brian was bringing up Dungeons and Dragons to me, and he was, he wanted to get me to play, and I was going, I don't think I can get into that stuff.
So you invited us to play at your house.
So I just told him, he was bringing it up for a couple of weeks, I feel, and I was kind of not really into that. I'm a nerd. I like video games, comic books. I used to even play tabletop, HeroClix, stuff like that. Just I'm not huge into tabletops, and it really was. And this was just like, from what I knew, just pure in your head. I felt like LARPing, you know?
Yeah.
Like part of it's like you're LARPing.
We haven't gotten that far.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that far, but I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. So, you know, he was getting a couple of our friends and coworkers from work, and they were going to play Dungeons and Dragons. And I said, all right, well, you know, my place is kind of it's a point that, you know, people could meet up at, and we have the room here. So I said, hey, why don't you guys come over and play? But really, my intention was just, all right, I'm going to have them come over and play. I'm going to film this, which I didn't end up doing. I wanted to film this and just be making fun of them the entire time. But one of our coworkers, John, he kept saying to us, like, oh, it's really weird you invited us over just to watch us play Dungeons and Dragons, you weirdo. And I'm just like, all right, I'll play. And then Ryan, my roommate, he also decided to play. And that was the start of Magic. It's only been, well, not Magic the Gathering, but you know, I mean, this is really only 2 weeks ago, but I'll get into it. But man, I'm almost like full diving right now.
Yeah. How many figure sets have you bought? The miniature sets.
I don't want to talk about it.
I bought my first one today. I don't really like the miniatures because my thing is the collaborative storytelling. So I like really gets like your.
Well, if you don't like your miniatures, I'll have them.
Well, I like the ones that I got today, but it gets like your brain juices flowing to come up with a story, and then to have you guys completely fuck up that story, and I have to like roll with the punches of like, oh shit, they didn't do what I thought they'd do. Now I have to make up a reason why this is happening, and you know, you gotta pretend like you know what's going on the whole time because it kind of ruins the story, but it's fun too just to see the creative problem solving that everyone else comes up with.
Yeah, it seems as a dungeon master, I mean, I don't know how many people really follow the story, at least in the ones I've watched. I mean, you set breadcrumbs for them to kind of follow and go through. Maybe they'll miss something, maybe they'll make up something on their own. And yeah, I think it's neat because the dungeon master kind of sets the flow, but everyone else kind of sort of tells the story. Yeah. But yeah, no, I like the miniatures. I think part of that's the hero clicks in me.
That's fun. I like the collectivity of it. I don't actually like using them for play, but I like the idea of having. Like,
and that's the thing. Like when I was watching Node on YouTube, they did Dungeons and Dragons. They did like a Dungeons and Dragons Pokemon. I really liked how they used the miniatures. I mean, you have something that looks like it could represent your character. It's not necessarily what your character looks like, but you're using it as like a reference point for certain things. So if I lay out a town, it's kind of neat to me, at least, to be able to, all right, here's where this is located, here's where this is located, here's where that's located. And yes, maybe it'll take away from a little bit of the imagination, but I think for me, I guess I have a hard time imagining, like, okay, the town is northwest over here, and this building is on the upper right-hand corner. Like, I would probably forget where, like, at least for me, I think I would forget where all the buildings were. I would forget what was around here. So if I had a point of reference, I could say, okay, hey, let's check out this building that we haven't visited yet and see what see what's in there and talk to the NPCs in there. For me, if I was going to dungeon master, and at some point I think I will give it a try.
I'm excited to see yours.
Yeah, I've actually been starting a little bit of a story of myself to use, but if I were to dungeon master, I think it'd be a good point of reference for, because I would create like every character's got some kind of narrative potentially, all the NPCs in the town, and to me, I think I would get lost of who's and where again, where you guys could go to, and like things like that. So for me, I do like the visual representation of that, and that's just different styles of D&D.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. It gets so different depending on who's playing and who's. Because I've even this little story that I played with you guys. I played with another group of friends where I was the DM, and
it was the same story though.
Same story, but like the choices change everything, and even just like the group dynamic changes things. Like the jokes that we make are different, And so because of that, the story changes and how I DM changes.
Yeah.
And like
we were a little, and I apologize. I do apologize. I was a little rowdy the first time.
you get a little rowdy.
I got a little
rowdy boy.
I got a little drunk. I was the only one drinking. There was a lot of phallic jokes involved.
a lot of references.
I could tell you were getting a little annoyed. But it wasn't just me. Everyone's pointing the finger at me.
No, everyone else is doing it too.
Like, yeah. No, everyone else was doing it too.
It was John's fault for the most part.
Yeah. Blame John.
He doesn't listen. So he doesn't listen to us, so it's fine.
It's fine. So yeah, it was a little out of hand, but honestly, when we fit, I mean, also mentioning, I do apologize for your dice case.
Yeah, you did pour an alcoholic beverage into my beverage.
Can I have that for my beverages now?
You just want as a shot glass?
It's not bad to drink out of.
I had to upgrade to a ball jar anyways because I bought extra dice. I was in Chicago and I went to a game store out there, and I bought like a couple handfuls of dice. They had like a random dice bin, which is pretty cool. I got some.
You went to Chicago between when we played the first time?
Yeah.
Oh wow, time flew.
Yeah. No, it went by super fast.
Yeah.
We both got a little obsessive though because you bought a
I'll get into that.
I got some die.
So I mean, we played, and honestly, even though maybe at the end I don't remember exactly what happened, mostly I remember most of it.
Yeah, you got up to.
I was pretty drunk. I was super excited to play again.
Yeah,
like I was like, all right. I kind of felt bad that I was like, annoying in the first one, but then I was like, I really want to like play again.
Yeah.
And in between that, I started to watch videos on my own. I even bought my own rulebook, the player's guide.
Yeah.
I was watching that YouTube channel, like I mentioned, Node. That's what got me into wanting to get the miniatures, and I've sunk a decent chunk of money into miniatures. So all of a sudden I went from I was gonna make fun of these losers in like a span of 2 days. I'm like all in. I'm like, I'm in. I want to play. Like I'm thinking about doing like the next time I want to play.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. And for anyone of you judging us right now, you try it.
I think it's a fair assessment to say that this game is the heart of what we're all about anyways, whether it's the rules being the basis for a lot of modern video games and for a lot of even some of the older school video games, to the collaborative storytelling and even just good storytelling in general and character creation that you get in video games and in a lot of the movies that we're watching. So I think deep down it is the heart of it, and it gets made fun of a little bit because it's that classic nerdy thing to do. But I don't really think that happens too much anymore because just so many people are nerds. It's become normalized. So eventually LARPing will be cool.
Hold on a second.
What's up?
Is this still recording?
Yeah, it should be.
I thought the stop button. I don't know.
The timer's still going. We're good.
The timer's still going?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. It looked like for a second there was a couple of frames dropping.
Cool.
And I saw the loading bar, so
yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I know I'm somebody who grew up as like a jock too.
Oh yeah.
In high school, so for me to embrace this nerd side and deep dive into this, it's different, and it's really fun. About your campaign though, what was different from your campaign with the both groups?
Oh yeah, I don't think they're listening, so I think we're good. But you guys. So there was a
story-wise, not necessarily.
There's a lot less phallic references. There was a point in my campaign where a goblin, a gerblin. You guys almost killed him in the beginning of the cave. Same thing happened in both campaigns, and he gets away. You guys ended up going in a different direction, so they didn't fight that stone talus that you guys ran into yet.
Okay.
Which is, I was kind of betting that you guys would follow him, and you didn't. You went to the stone talus, so you were supposed to be a higher level before reaching the stone talus. But
did you level it down?
Huh?
Did you level the talus down?
No, I didn't nerf it.
Okay.
So you guys, but that's why John died.
Did he?
Almost. He almost died.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say nobody died.
But if you followed Thomas immediately, you defeat the next room, level up a little bit, and then when you go down that hallway, Thomas says, he comes out and he's like, you guys hold it right there. And he comes out with his crossbow and he offers you a proposition of you guys killing his goblin commander.
Yeah.
And if you kill him, then Thomas ends up taking the control of the clan because he's the lieutenant. He's the next guy to move up. And he'll get all the goblins out of the cave, and you guys don't have to worry about fighting goblins. You can only worry about the other interesting stuff that was happening.
We
in the
didn't really
cave.
fight too many goblins other than some.
You had killed 3 and an orc up to that point, but you knew that there was like 50 in the next room.
Yeah.
So
but Thomas was with the orc, right?
No, he was in the very beginning.
Oh, he was in the very
He was the one who shot Bing Bong in, in the shoulder.
If we had followed Thomas, would we have even had to fight the orc?
Yeah, you would have.
Okay.
You would have run through them. Yeah, so you guys fucking killed the goblin captain, which is fine. It worked out for you.
They didn't kill the goblin captain?
No, they made a deal with the goblin captain
Instead of Thomas?
Instead of Thomas, they ratted out Thomas.
Okay.
Except they didn't rat out Thomas because that was the only leverage they had. They successfully persuaded the captain that if he helps them with a few other things first, they'll tell him who the defector is amongst his rank.
Okay. Interesting. So we did it completely different in that aspect because but they did eventually make their way back around to the altar.
They didn't get to the altar yet.
So you haven't finished with them?
No, they're not done yet.
Okay.
They got to the altar.
Hopefully they aren't listening. They don't listen to this. Okay, so I guess we'll stop because I don't want them.
Well, I didn't spoil anything for them yet, other than the stone talus. They just got to the altar. That's where we ended it last time.
Okay.
They rolled initiative. They were about to roll initiative.
Okay.
And then we ended the game.
Interesting. Interesting. The different paths that we took.
They haven't been to town yet either.
At all? Well, aside from the beginning.
No, we didn't start in the town.
Oh, you started in the cave?
I wanted to start in the cave for you guys.
Why did you start in the town?
Because that's what you guys wanted to do.
We did? Oh, was that an option? Did you give it as an option?
I said, let's just skip to the cave because we spent so much time on character creation that I didn't want to, go to the town and just,
hey, we got some great
town for a
items
little
in the
bit.
town.
So I tried to railroad you guys to the cave, and you guys were like, no, let's go to the town. I was like, he's going to tell you just what I told you, let's just go. And then you got to the gates of the town, and everyone decided not to walk through the big open gate doors. Do you remember that now?
No, I did.
You did.
Ryan? I think Ryan showed up later.
Yeah, and
he's still looking through the rule book.
He tried to find a hole in the wall instead of going through the big open gate.
Well, I'm talking about Ryan, roommate.
He was just going through the rule book. He memorized that night.
Yeah, he was going through the rule book, and then he shows up later. And then, the other one wanted to swim through the lake instead of going through the main gate, which was wide open.
Yeah. I think we will probably get a recording of a game eventually. We only have 1 camera and 2 mics, and there was 5 of us, so I think we would need an extra camera for a different. We were at a round table, so it would have been difficult.
Yeah, and if I were to do it, I'd probably need two extra cameras.
Oh yeah, because you got to do an overhead for the miniatures.
Yeah, somebody, and then when they did it on Node, one of them was using a GoPro.
Oh, that makes sense.
He just holds the GoPro up to certain angles and points.
That makes sense.
As they're doing things, so it's pretty neat. But that's down the line.
Yeah. Eventually. I'd like to do more board games and stuff too. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I should do Dominion.
Dominion would be good. What's the haunted house one? The
haunted house on the mansion. I don't remember. I
Betrayal.
Yeah.
Betrayal on a haunted house.
I actually played that years ago. I don't remember exactly how it was played.
It looked like fun.
But yeah, it was pretty fun. I don't remember. I actually don't even remember how to play Dominion now too. It's been so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, those 2 games were fun though. We used to play after I worked at the hookah lounge. We'd go late night. We'd just play and drink. That didn't change.
Just to take a midway break, because I didn't realize that we've never done this before, but if you're watching us on the YouTube, feel free to follow us on the Twitter. It's at Super Sidekicks Podcast.
No, it's just that Super Sidekicks.
At Super Sidekicks
Twitter
is what I said the first. I meant to say
at Super Sidekicks.
At Super Sidekicks. That's us on the Twitter. If you want, we also have a SoundCloud page, but hopefully by the time any videos are up on the YouTube, you'll actually be able to find us on iTunes or Google Play.
Yeah, and if you are on SoundCloud listening to this,
Or iTunes or Google Play.
Or iTunes or Google Play, then if you want to check out our video version instead, then you can find a Super Sidekicks podcast. That's the full name of the channel. But yeah, Twitter is just Super Sidekicks. Cool, we got that name.
Yeah. And if if you need a cool way to build a website, you want to check us out on Squarespace. No, I'm just kidding. I just feel like everything I watched recently has been like Squarespace makes
And
websites
if you are looking
easy.
for the car of your dreams, check out Springfield Hyundai and Subaru.
Can we just make up like sponsors?
We could.
Red Bull, it gives you wings.
That's not a made-up sponsor. You mean
They're
made up
actually
like we?
sponsoring us? No, I mean like they're making like pretend that this
These
company
are
is
our
actually.
sponsors. No, because then we might get sued.
Will we really get
If they don't like our content and they're just like, that doesn't represent Red Bull at all. Which, I mean, actually, I think we, as gamers, yeah, we could.
Yeah.
But if the sponsor was like, that doesn't represent us at all.
Meanwhile, we won't. We
have to start, like, bleeping out the sponsors.
Meanwhile, I can't delete the emails from Doritos and Mountain Dew fast enough. They want to sponsor us so bad.
Hopefully, I would like the hot fries company.
Hot fries. I need it in my life.
Wait, you know what?
I ate a whole bag today.
We should see if Lee's Brothers wants to sponsor us.
Yes.
They just send us like, all right, I'll just give you free Chinese food as long as you hold the menu up to the camera during this, and then R for the read off the menu.
Yeah.
So Lee's Brothers, you're probably not watching this. I have no idea.
If you want to get some of that sweet and spicy chicken from Lee's Brothers, go in there and drop our name. Be like, Super Sidekick sent us. And
they're not gonna know who you are.
Yeah, but you pretend. Just go in there and pretend, and that's how.
What if we got enough people to say, "Hey, Super Sidekicks sent us"? They're like, "Man, who are these? We gotta get in touch with them."
Yeah, they keep sending people to us.
They're giving us business.
Yeah. So follow us on all the things, because that's something that we haven't said on our podcast ever.
Should I actually put it below?
Yes, you should put it below. I gotta stop kicking my mic. Getting so excited about things below.